Welcome to the Empowered Team Podcast. I'm Kari Schneider, your host. And today, oh boy, this is going to be a good one. This is your call for presence. Today, we're going to go into why presence, this concept, this je ne sais quoi, this ability that the best connectors in the world have, the best leaders in the world have, the most wonderful relationships have. This is needed. This is a call for presence. So it's in leadership, in love, in legacy. How can you, today I'm going to show you how can you cultivate this intentionally and why it is so critical. We are now in a world that's so full of noise. And now we've got AI. So much better, right? And now, don't get me wrong, I love AI. I've written an entire book on AI and leadership, the human algorithm. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And at the same time, we've got this AI, we've got social media, we've got so many things that can answer our questions, automate our tasks, automate our responses, mimic empathy. We've got so much at our fingertips. So why do we still feel so disconnected? So many of us, the world feels more disconnected than ever before, and yet technically, via technology, we are more connected than we've ever been. We can send messages faster versus letters that used to go and take weeks just to get to someone, a loved one overseas, a loved one in a war. And now we can get someone a message instantaneously. We have had a world where we've solved more problems than ever thought possible. We have made more innovations than ever possible. So many things have improved in so many ways, and yet so many of us feel so much more disconnected. One of the things I am doing every day is supporting high-level leaders optimize their performance without losing their soul, while still becoming the best version of themselves that's connected and interconnected with other humans. That's what I get to do every single day. But this podcast, you're probably not working with me. Whoever's listening in, you're probably not working with me. This podcast is for whoever I can reach with the same kind of messages that the best in the world use to feel like they are truly fulfilled and truly themselves. And it's this. This is a call. This is the beacon for presence. We need it now more than ever. I want you to picture the scenario. This is me 20 years ago. 20 years ago, opened my business, and my daughter is 5. And in that first year of me being in my business, and she's used to being with me in work, I would bring her to work with me sometimes. She would see me work, but then when I was with her, I was with her. And she knew it. And then we'd go home, and every single night I would read a book to her. And I noticed that on the days that I was so in my head, still working through the problems of the business or things that needed to be addressed, still going through all of those things, I noticed that I'd be reading her a book and thinking about something else at the same time because I'd gone through that Dr. Seuss book so many times. I could say the words, read the words, do the intonations, and still be thinking about something else. She could ask me a question about what I just read, and I wouldn't have known what I just read. I'd have to pause and re-engage. Now, that didn't happen all the time or anything like that. Usually those were very, very connected, intimate, present moments with my daughter. But when I noticed that I was doing that, the first thought was, oh, wow, I can read something out loud and be thinking something else. I was just completely compelled by what was possible with the brain. So I was looking at it from a scientist's kind of viewpoint, whereas from a relationship viewpoint, that's the very thing. That right there is the very thing that slowly erodes the connection that we have with the people that we love the most. So why do we feel so disconnected? I want to introduce to you how I've broken down presence, and it's 4 dimensions of presence. It's not passive, it's a power. Presence is a superpower. It's the power that distinguishes great leaders. It's the power that creates moments of meaning. It's the one thing that AI cannot do like us. We are human. We are deep, we are profound, we are messy, we are emotional, we are connected and interconnected humans. We have AI at any given time, and we should have AI and utilize AI. I think it's a wonderful thing in so many ways. And it only stays wonderful as long as we stay wonderful in our connections with ourselves and others. And the key ingredient to that is presence. So this, to me, is what makes up presence. Number 1, it's connection. Now, that connection can be something that's intangible. It can be a subtle smell that you don't even realize that you're noticing. Pheromones. It can be eye contact, but connection is the sensory part of presence. It's the hearing, the movement, the sway, the touch, the glance, the micro expression. These are all the connected areas that often are now getting flat, stoic. How many Zoom screens are we on right now? Where in a Zoom screen, it's so much easier to become just a talking head. The connection that was there in so much proximity and presence in person is not there on Zoom. It's not there on the screen. As soon as COVID hit, I started calling everybody Zoombies, like zombies. So the first component, the first dimension to me of presence is connection. The second one is calm. Calm equates peace. It's this kind of thing that we can have connection with somebody that's really intense and negative, but calm is this peaceful zone where it's an intensity through calm. It's an intensity and deepness through the calmness in presence. So calm is the second one. The third one is captivated. When someone's captivated, it's like there's nothing else that they would rather focus on than you, because I'm captivated by you. You are the most incredible thing that I want to focus on right in this moment. That encompasses so much of what presence is. And the last one is curiosity. In curiosity, there's 3 forms of curiosity, this wonderful dimension of presence. One is creative curiosity, as in what is possible. Another is intelligent curiosity, as in looking for the highest possible quality of curiosity. And the third one is compassionate curiosity. And this one, I think, is the most important right now in this era of our lives because of how much we are inundated with. So creative curiosity, intelligent curiosity, and compassionate curiosity. For presence, these 4 dimensions, this is what pulls it all together. Connection, calm, captivated, and curious. If you've got someone who is with you and their attention and energy is focused on you with connection, calmness, compassion, captivating, and curious, guess what? They are so present with you, and you are going to feel like the most important in the whole wide world. You are going to feel seen. You are going to feel understood. You are going to feel felt. What does it feel like to feel like someone feels you? You feel felt. Such a good thing. We need more of this in leaders, in relationships, for ourselves. This is so critical for us to give and connect with other people. Lack of connection, what are the byproducts? Anger. What are the byproducts? Negativity. What are the byproducts? Toxicity in relationships. Animosity. Polarizing opinions. not being able to get on the same page or see that we're all in the same boat. There's huge byproducts. This matters deeply, deeply, not just for individuals, but for humanity. I want you to think of a leader or a teacher, someone who is responsible for other humans and how they are succeeding or navigating the world, whether it's in a management situation or a classroom situation. When someone is in a presence-based leadership, it increases the team trust. It increases the creativity. It increases the problem solving. I gave this as an example. The person who is the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, she came along and started connecting the executive team, started connecting with their parents, really endeavoring to understand them and thank them for giving her such a wonderful leadership team. Thanked their parents. That's connection. That's such a unique, unusual example in the world. Now, there's lots of examples, but what's happening is that there's less and less. It's not the norm. It's the exception to what we're experiencing for the most part. We're experiencing so much disconnection within each other, with each other, that we need more. We need more of this one ingredient, presence. Imagine the father who learns to listen to their son and what their son is going through, or their daughter. That right there, that influence of a parent, that presence of a parent, so powerful for a developing young person. So powerful. Imagine presence just for yourself. Being present enough to understand that maybe you're feeling off one day, you're not feeling as regulated, checking into what you need, being present to your own needs, being present to your own desires, being present to your own wishes and upset and anything that's happening in your world. It's not about perfection. Presence is about so much more than that. It's about being felt. And I bet that if you think about it, you can remember the last person who really, really helped you feel seen. You felt so seen by this person. I imagine you can remember who it is. I think of a good friend of mine when I was going through a challenging time, and she just listened and supported and listened and supported and asked a critical question here and there. But I could tell she felt how I felt. Even though she hadn't gone through the same thing as me, she felt how I felt. So there's a theory in science. It's called the social presence theory. And what it means is that feeling emotionally seen is essential for what's called psychological safety. When people feel that they are felt by someone else, they feel safe. It's empathy. It's compassion. When people have that, they feel really good. In work environments, I've seen this so many times where the leader sees something off in an employee or another leader, and they point it directly to their performance. But when they step back far enough and see that perhaps there's something going on in their personal life, and they're just not operating as their normal selves, and then when they come back and they've overcome that thing, there's just a little bit of a dip in who they are, and then they're back up to their performance and doing really well. But if that leader is not present enough to see that this is not their typical behavior, I wonder what their needs are. I wonder how they are. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, they are in a role, they are to execute that role, and they are to perform, period. And if that's the way you want to go through leadership, I promise you, you're going to have lower productivity, more disconnection in the workplace, and less creativity and problem solving. That's what the research shows. It's not just my experience, and I've had plenty of experience in that same example, but that's what the research shows. So this is where we get to lean in. When we be better humans, we have greater connection. We have more output in the world that's amazing. It creates a ripple effect and it's positive. There's no drawback from understanding, having compassion, and truly, truly being present with other people. All we have to do is little things. If we take that presence for ourselves, it might be 10 minutes of just sitting and calm breathing, just being with myself. When we look at other people, we've got the research on mirror neurons where we can just be with them. This is why people, you pass on the street, you don't even know who they are, and someone smiles at you, just a genuine, friendly, hello type of smile. Everything about the smile says hello. And you just smile back, carry on. Maybe they reminded you of someone. Maybe they just thought you could use a hello smile. And there it is. It came and went. But someone was able to see you enough to offer a smile. And what happens is you almost automatically smile back. That's a mirror neuron. Use it to your advantage. This is one of the ways that connection, that sensory connection that I talk about with presence, can help you really connect with another person. Think of Oprah. Her signature style of presence with that other person always had those people feel like they were the only person in the room. No one else was there but them. Because that's how present she was to them, what they were saying, what their experience was, and so much so she was even to pull out some things that may or may not have been there for the person to discover for themselves. True presence. Curiosity, when we use curiosity and presence, it strengthens bonds faster than similarity. I don't know if you know about the research where people find connection via similarity. You go into a group of people, you've never met them before, but you see a sweatshirt, and that's your university sweatshirt on someone else, and it immediately causes a similar experience of life and an opportunity for connection. You look for people that are like you in order to connect with. When they are not like you, we as humans, we have a harder time finding connection. But guess what? Curiosity strengthens bonds faster than similarity. This is a superpower. Our presence and using curiosity in that presence is a freaking superpower. It is unbelievable. That's why intelligent curiosity, compassionate curiosity, creative curiosity are so critical. I have someone who works for me at our at Whitcliffe Lodge, the place that I've been restoring for the last 4 years. This is year 5. And he's been going through nursing school. He comes out and helps out with odd tasks, and I've gotten to know him over the last few years. And he tells me about working in a nursing home because he's a caregiver in that environment. And sometimes he's the person that's with someone and the last person that's with someone who is passing on. They're in this journey of going toward death, and he might be the last person that they've seen, or he might be with them throughout that journey. And that ability to be with them, be present, is exactly what every human needs. Exactly what every human wishes for in life, not just death. A nurse can look at someone with just a calm presence that can be healing. That gaze, their eye contact, that presence can be healing for the patient that's there. This is possible in our relationships. This is possible in our leadership roles. AI is there for us for so many things. It can stimulate a response. It can recognize an emotion. It can even intonate to have us feel like it's expressing emotion, but it can't feel responsible for your growth. It can't feel love for you. It can simulate responses, but it cannot embody presence. You can. You can. And right now, sometimes so many people are getting more presence or some sort of framework or simulation of presence from AI than they are from the humans that are around them. That is a potential disaster. This is why this is so important for us to be able to connect with presence. Presence is the ingredient. It is the key. If you want to practice this, first ask yourself, am I with them or near them? Do they have a version of me that's the physical version of me, but I'm not with them. They're not really with me because I'm gone somewhere else in my head or looking at my phone. How many times have people come into a meeting? I get to see, I'll be on Zooms or in person with groups. People will come in, they're coming in together, and they're sitting next to each other, a foot or two apart, and looking at their phones. Restaurants, you'll see people like this at a restaurant table. Meetings, you'll see people like this next to each other. Social gatherings. Take the phones away. Yes, we use AI. Yes, we have social connections. Yes, technology is phenomenal as a secondary support, but the primary one is the presence. It is uniquely human. Let's keep it and magnify it and use it as our superpower. To be present, to practice it, this can take 5 minutes of your day. Connection, ask yourself, am I with them or just near them? Calm, maybe a box breathing or a 4-7-8 breathing before meetings. I do this before, when I break between clients and I want to reestablish my presence before my next client, I'll do some breath work so that I can reground, get present with myself, so that I can ultimately be really present with the next person I see. So that can really encompass the calm dimension of presence. Captivating. Eliminate distractions, no phones. Practice 90 seconds of undivided attention. I gave you an example of my oldest daughter when she was 5. And with my family, we have a blended family, so there are 5 kids. And when we're together in holidays, because the 4 older ones are now in their 20s, but when we all come together in holidays or family gatherings, we don't have the phones with us. Why? Because years and years ago, once they got phones, all the 4 older ones were teenagers and they got phones. The phones went in a certain basket in the hallway. Phones were never at the table, ever. It didn't matter if they were eating alone for breakfast or something. They were never at the table. And we ate dinner together. And there were no phones there, ever. So when we gather, that same kind of cultural rule around our family still is there. So the phones aren't around. But as soon as we're not all together, as soon as somebody's alone, then people are usually on their phones. So get rid of the phone when you're with somebody else so that you can be captivated by them instead of a tool that's designed to steal your attention by tapping into how your brain works. It's like a gambling machine. It's like a slot machine. Make sure that you are showing up in a way that's captivating and then not sit there and wonder why they aren't captivated with you. This is your job. This is your job to show up. Your job. And curiosity. Ask, what do I not yet understand about this person? Tell me more. I can easily say that the phrase, tell me more, instead of trying to solve or fix something for my husband is so liberating. It's so connecting. Tell me more. Tell me more about that. Think about when you felt truly seen. How was that person present with you? What did they do? What did they say? How did they show up? Think about that. How did they really impact you? Was it a peer at work? Was it a peer in leadership, in business? What did it look like? So with the 4 dimensions of presence, connected, calm, captivated, and curious, which ones are ones that, or one of them that you really want to embody? You know that it could be a superpower for you. You know that if developed even a tiny bit more, you know that presence would magnify with everyone that you're with. Which one is it? Because now you have it broken down. You've gotten the distinguishments of how presence actually works. Because if I just said, oh, we need presence, awesome, people would be like, I don't know what that means. What do I do? How do I do presence? Makes no sense to me. But now that you've got some distinguishing qualities, some dimensions of presence, pick the one that's easiest for you so you can up your presence game, so you can really show up, so that you're not in a situation where you're physically present and emotionally absent, where you're next to someone but you're far away, where someone says to you, hey, did you see this? And you just go, and you don't even really turn and look. That's absence. Not absence from just them, but absence from you and absence from your own life that's a gift in front of you. Choose one conversation this week, one conversation to show up with all 4 of those dimensions of presence. To really aim, to really flex, to really put it out there. Your presence can change someone's life. Your presence can change your world. Your presence can change your business. Your presence really showing up will make the difference for so many people. This is what the world needs right now. Not disconnection, not more AI for everything, but real human presence. So are you willing to show up with that presence and really show up for your life? Or are you willing to succumb to the disconnection that's been all around us? Because you're listening to this podcast, I think I know which one it is. So go for it. Go get it. Empower yourself with the superpower of presence. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Go be present with as many people as you can this week. Share this with someone who needs it. Have a great day.